lost in the mysterious city. The road stretched endlessly ahead, swallowed by the fog that clung to the ground like a shroud. Arya had been driving for hours, following a GPS route to his friend's remote village. But when the signal cut out, he took a wrong turn onto a narrow cobblestone path. The headlights of his car revealed a sign, "Welcome to Moraveth." "I've never heard of this place," Arya muttered, glancing at his map. The town wasn't marked. Yet, something about the quiet streets, lined with darkened buildings and old street lamps, compelled him to venture further. He parked near a central square dominated by an ornate fountain, its water eerily still. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and something metallic like rust. As Arya stepped out, the sound of his boots echoed unnaturally in the silence. "Hello?" he called out, his voice swallowed by the dense fog. No one answered. The town seemed abandoned, yet every window had faint flickers of light, as if someone or something was watching him. As Arya explored further, he noticed strange details, street signs in a language he didn't recognize, shops filled with items that looked centuries old, and shadows that seemed to move when he wasn't looking. He came upon a cafe with a single flickering neon sign, "Open." Relieved, he stepped inside. The cafe was dimly lit, the walls adorned with faded portraits whose eyes seemed to follow him. A lone figure sat at the counter, a man in a tattered coat, his face hidden under a wide-brimmed hat. "Excuse me," Arya began. "Can you tell me how to get out of this town?" The man didn't respond, but his head tilted slightly as if listening. A cold breeze swept through the cafe, though no doors had opened. "I just need directions," Arya insisted, his voice faltering. "You're not supposed to be here," the man finally said, his voice a guttural whisper. "What do you mean?" Before the man could answer, the lights flickered and went out. The room was plunged into darkness, save for the faint glow of the neon sign outside. When the lights returned, the man was gone. Panic set in as Arya ran back to his car, only to find the tires slashed and the doors locked, though he had left them open. He turned and saw figures emerging from the fog. Silent, faceless forms dressed in tattered clothing. They moved slowly, but their intent was unmistakable. Arya ran, ducking into an alleyway. The walls seemed to close in, the cobblestones beneath his feet slick with some dark, sticky substance. His breath came in ragged gasps as he turned a corner and found himself back in the square. The fountain was no longer dry. Dark red liquid overflowed, staining the cobblestones. In its reflection, Arya saw dozens of figures surrounding him, their blank faces contorted into grotesque smiles. One stepped forward, its hollow voice echoing, "Once you enter Moraveth, you never leave." Arya screamed as the fog engulfed him. When he woke, he was sitting on a bench in the square. The town was silent again, the figures gone. But his car was nowhere to be found, and the streets seemed to twist endlessly, leading him back to the fountain no matter which way he walked. He was trapped, just like the others. The city had claimed another soul,